Hello friends, as the continuation of the lectures on probability, today our topic is the conditional probability and the multiplication rule of probability. In the previous video lectures already we have discussed about the basic terminologies of probability and also about the mutually exclusive events and the consequences additional rule of probability. So today we are starting with the independent events and thus give us the birth of multiplication rule. So what is the conditional probability? Let us discuss a situation. A bag contains 6 balls, 3 red and 3 white. 2 balls are chosen and that is without replacement. What is the meaning of replacement? Now suppose that is the bag and that is containing 3 reds and 3 white balls. So suppose when we are picking one ball, we are not replacing once again in that particular bag. So that is the condition which is known as the scenario without replacement. And if we after picking the ball just put the ball once again in the bag, it is known as with replacement. Okay, so without replacement means when we are not once again putting the object in the container. So at random, one after the other, that means here we are choosing 2 balls. So we consider the event in that way. R, that is the event, first chosen ball is red, and W for the event second chosen ball is white. So according to as there are 6 balls in the bag, so when we are getting or trying to find out the probability for the event R, that means the first chosen ball is red, that means there are 3 red balls. So the probability of R is equal to 3 by 6. But PW is not straightforward. Why? Because that is without replacement. After picking up of one red ball, now there are 2 red and 3 white balls in the bag. That means at first the bag was containing 6 balls. So when after picking up one red ball, that means now there is -1, that means total 5 balls in the bag at that moment. So when one white ball is chosen out of the 5 balls from the bag, so white ball probability, chosen of white ball probability is 3 by 5, because now the sample points are there are 5 balls and there are 3 white balls. So according to among 3 balls and among total 5 balls, the probability of white choosing is 3 by 5. So the probability of W is clearly dependent upon the event R. So the probability of W occurring is known as conditional on the occurrence of the R. So that type of probability when we are finding, that means when there are the events which is dependent with another one, then we have to find out the probability. That means that is conditional probability because a condition is there. According to the notation, suppose there are 2 events A and B and it is written in the way P A by B. Whichever is written in the right hand side or as the denominator, that means event B here in that notation, that event B has been occurred. Event B has been occurred and event A is now occurring. So in that way also we can say if we have B by A, that means A has been occurred. A event has been occurred and B is occurring. So generally P A by B is written in the way, have the formula number of outcomes in A intersection B upon number of outcomes in A. So that means probability of A intersection B upon probability of B. That means which event has been occurred. And we can say PA intersection B is equal to PA by B into PB. Already we have said now just before that probability of B by A, that means A event has been occurred and B is occurring. So in that case PB by A, as A has been the occurred event, so here we are writing it as a denominator. So P A intersection B was also can be written as P A by A into PA. Now A intersection B is also B intersection A, as already we know that the events are already we know commutative property holds. So using this formula, let us consider an example. The example statement says a bag contains 6 10 ohm resistors and 10 30 ohm resistors. The resistors are all unmarked. That means we cannot find out which one is 30 ohm or which one is 10 ohm, and are of the same physical size. Now the first question. One resistor is picked at random from the box. Find the probability that it is a 10 ohm resistor, and the second question, it is a 30 ohm resistor. So how many numbers of resistors are there in the bag? Now that is 6 plus 10, that one is equal to 16. So the first question goes to, when only one resistor has to be picking up, that means it is a 10 ohm. So we can write it in that way, probability of 10 ohm. So total out of 16, and there are 10 ohm resistor, that is number 6. So the probability is 6 by 16. And also the same case for the second problem, it is a 30 ohm resistor, that means total number is 16 and there are 10 30 ohm resistors. So the probability must be 10 upon 16, that one is P of 30 ohm. So sample space is containing 16 sample points, and there is an equally likely chance of any resistor being selected. So probability of 10 ohm is 6 by 16, that one is equal to 3 by 8, and so the same is happening, equally likely chance for the 30 ohm, so that is 10 by 16 or 5 by 8. Let's check the next problem. The same statement. At the start, 2 resistors are selected from the box. Find the probability that, first question, both are 10 ohm resistors. Second, the first is 10 ohm and the second one is 30 ohm, and the third one, both are 30 ohm resistors. So both are 10 ohm resistors. That means we are picking like that, in that way. First one we are picking, that is a 10 ohm resistors, and after that another we are picking, that is also 10 ohm resistors. So that is our first event, that is our second event. Now look at the thing once again. We are saying according to the English language that 10 ohm resistor and 10 ohm resistor. So that's why we are denoting it by the intersection sign. So according to the formula, that one written as PA intersection B is equal to P of B by A into PA. So let's check what is happening here. That is 10 ohm and 10 ohm. That is our requirement. So that is our first, that is our second event. That means that is occurring and A has been occurred into the event has been occurred, that is P 10 ohm. Now for the first one, when we are picking the first one, that means there are 16 number of resistors, and among total number of resistors are there, 10 ohm is 6. So that is our first one. Now next time when we are picking the 10 ohm, another one, that means now there are 16 minus 1, that is 15 number of resistors in the bag, and also there is 5 number of 10 ohm resistors. So the result is 5 by 15 into 6 by 16, and finally the result is 1 by 8. Let's check the second question. The first one is 10 ohm resistor and the second is a 30 ohm resistor. So first is 10 ohm. So that means the problem is now just like that. That means first one is a 10 ohm and second one is a 30 ohm. So now we can write it in that way, that is first event and that is happening or occurring now. So into, that is first event was 10 ohm, so P of 10 ohm. So let's check what is the result here, as like already we have said it. So when we are picking the 10 ohm, among the total 16 there are 6 number of 10 ohm. So that is the probability of P 10 ohm for the first one event. Now for the second one event, there are now 16 minus 1, that means 15 number of resistors, and also there are 10 30 ohm resistors. So that is our P 30 ohm by 10 ohm, 10 by 15. So the result is 1 by 4. The third case, both are 30 ohm. So that is P 30 ohm and 30 ohm. So 30 ohm is the first event, 30 ohm is the second event or the occurring event. So when first for, that is 10 by 16, because there was 16 and 10 30 ohm resistors. So that is the first one case into, now one resistor has been picked up. So there are 15 number of resistors in the bag or box, and also one has been picked up, that is 30 ohm. So there is also minus 1, that means from 10, that is now 9 numbers of 30 ohm resistors. So the result is 9 by 15 into 10 by 16, result is 3 by 8. So now we are proceeding to the independent events. Now what is independent events? If the occurrence of one event A is not affected by the occurrence of another event B, then we can say that A and B are independent events. In the case of conditional probability, already we have found that both the events are dependent with each other. Hence, we are proceeding from the property of the conditional event. Let's once again, the B event occurred, event is occurring, that is PA. Why? Because if the event A is not affected by the event B that has been occurred, so that means there is no effect for event A. So event A by B is particularly PA. Same as when A and B are both independent events, that means event A has been occurred. But after that, when event B is occurring, it is not affected by A. So PB by A is equal to PB. So this type of events are independent and that is not affected by the other effect from the conditional scenario. So we can modify the formula of conditional probability. PA intersection B is written as PB by A into PA. Now A and B are both independent, so PB is not affected by A. So PB by A can be written as PB into PA. So P intersection B is equal to PB into PA. Same as, suppose here the B is the first one event. So for the event B, event A is not affected. So that is becoming PA by B is becoming PA. So PA intersection B is equal to PA into PB, that is PA into PB. And this is particularly known as the multiplication law of probability. So in words, the probability of independent events A and B occurring is the product of the probabilities of the events occurring separately. So that means when we are in the mutually exclusive event, that was given birth to the additional law of probability. Now when in the independent events of probability, that is giving birth to the multiplication law of probability. So let's check with some example. Here two components A and B are connected in series. Event A, capital A, is written in that way or described in that way, event when component A is operating. And for the event capital B, that is the description of event component B is operating. Given that PA is equal to 0.99 and PB is equal to 0.98. The circuit functions only if A and B are both operating simultaneously. Once again, the circuit functions only if A and B are both operating simultaneously. The components are assumed to be independent. So what is then the probability that the circuit is operating is given by when it is functioning if A and B both are operating. So we have to find out PA intersection B, because for the particular term, that is AND. So PA and B, that means PA intersection B, as both are independent, that is PA into PB, 0.99 into 0.98. So 0.9702. Note, the probability is smaller than either PA or PB. When we were discussing about the mutually exclusive event and the addition law, there was a circuit diagram that was in the parallel, and there we would find that the final result was better than any other component individually. But here the operation is in series. So that is the difference why in the household we use particularly the parallel circuit switching. Next, once again, that is now parallel. A circuit has three switches A, B and C wired in parallel as shown below diagram. Current can only flow through the bank of switches if at least one of them is closed. That means if any one of them, A, B or C, any one of them is closed, the probability that any given switch is closed is 0.9. Calculate the probability that current can flow through the bank of switches. Once again, the statement says current can only flow through the bank of switches if at least one of them is closed. So when we are saying that sentence, if at least one of them is closed, already we are saying if A or B or C is closed. That means the word or, and or means union. So we are assuming the switches operate independently, and that A is the event switch A is closed, B for the switch B is closed, C for the switch C is closed. We require A or B or C, the probability that at least one switch is closed. So according to the formula, P of A union B union C is equal to PA plus PB plus PC minus PA intersection B minus PA intersection C and minus PB intersection C plus P of A intersection B intersection C. Now PA plus PB plus PC, that is okay. Now as each and every event is independent with each other, so that can be written in the way PA into PB. PA intersection B can be written in the way PA into PC. PB intersection C can be written as PB into PC. And same as PA intersection B intersection C can be written PA into PB into PC according to the multiplication rule. So we are just putting the value of each and every probability of each and every event, that is similar as 0.9, and finally we are getting the result, that is 0.999. The result once again implies that the system is more likely to allow current to flow than any single switch in the system. This is why duplication is built into systems requiring a high degree of reliability, such as aircraft control system. That means once again the parallel circuit switching is better than the series switching. So we are proceeding to the next problem. Once again, our circuit has 4 switches A, B, C and D wired in parallel as shown in the diagram below. Current can only flow through the bank of switches if at least one of them is closed. Now here the individual probabilities of the switches has been given as 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6 respectively when they are closed. Calculate the probability that current can flow through the bank of switches. So once again the same problem here, P A union B union C union D. Why? P A or B or C or D. And according to the rule, that is PA plus PB plus PC plus PD, and the formula is as just like minus P of A intersection B minus P of B intersection C minus P of C intersection D minus P of D intersection A, P intersection of A and C, and minus P of B intersection D. Now the 3's plus P A intersection B intersection C plus P B intersection C intersection D, P C intersection D intersection A plus P of D intersection A intersection B, and finally the minus of 4 A B C D, that means intersection. So assuming that the switches operate independently, and the after result we are getting putting the values of each and every one, that is 0.9976. Once again we can check and see that the current flow more than each and every switches separately. Next problem, quite different. A box contains 4 bad and 6 good tubes. Okay, so that means there are 10 tubes. 2 are drawn out together. So we have picked 2. One of them is tested and found to be good. What is the probability that the other one is also good? So that means we are picking the 2 from total of 10 tubes. So suppose G for the ith tube is good and Bi for the ith tube is bad. Particularly G1 is the first one, that is good. So at first when we are picking the first one, that is total of 10 and that is 6. So after picking of 1, now there are another -1, so that means 9 number of tubes, and also one good is minus, so that is result as 5/9. Now the next problem. The example says a man owns a house in town and a cottage in the country. In any 1 year, the probability of the house being rented is 0.01 and the probability of cottage being rented is 0.05. In any 1 year, what is the probability that, first one, both will be rented? So we are defining the events H, house is rented, and for C, that is cottage is rented. Both will be rented. That means we are saying H and T, house and cottage, both would be rented. So H and C, and means also both are independent. So H intersection C, so that is H PH into PC, or according to the result or the probability of H and C, the result is finally 0.0005. Now the next question, one or the other but not both will be rented. That means house or the cottage but not both will be rented. So what is the probability? Probability of one or the other but not both. Just check. P, probability of house and not cottage. Once again, one or the other but not both. House and not cottage, or cottage and not house. So that is P of H intersection C dash plus P H dash intersection C. Why plus? Because both are mutually exclusive events. There is no relation between them, no common points. So once again H and C both are independent. So that is becoming PH into PC complement plus PH complement into PC. So according to the result, 0.01 and C dash, that is 0.95, and for H dash, that is 0.99 into 0.05, final result is 0.059 is the probability that one or the other but not both. So the next problem. Here the example statement says a central heating installation and maintenance engineer keeps a record of the causes of failure of systems he is called out of repair. The causes of failure are classified are as electrical, gas, or in rare cases other. A summary of the records kept of failures involving either gas or electrical faults is as follows according to a table. Electrical, yes, no, 53-23, for yes, no for 11-13. For gas, yes or no, for yes 53-11, no 23-13. Now the question is first one, find the probability that the failures involve gas given that it involves electricity. Now the first one, electrical failures. So the failures involve gas given that it involves electricity. So the first one event is electrical failure. So we have to check at first what is the electrical failure. Yes, the electrical failure is means 76. So a total of 76 failures involved electrical faults. Of the 76, now we have to find out that is involved gas. That means gas failure is now the event occurring. That has been occurred electrical failure. Now the event is gas failure occurring. How many? Now that is 53. So the final probability result is 53 by 76, or the result is 0.697. Next problem. Here the problem is just like that. Failure involved electricity, given that it involved gas. So that means the gas failure is the first one event that has been occurred. After that, the electrical failure occurred. So we have to find out how many gas failure is occurring, and that one is just 53 plus 11, that is for gas failure. Yes. So that one is 64. Now how many involving the electrical failure? That is 53. So we can simply say that is P of electrical failure upon gas failure is 53 by 64, and that is 0.828.